Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Things We Like podcast with me, your host, Andrew, and my co-host over here, Brooks.
I hope I'm pointing the right way because it might show up weird on the thing, but
It could.
welcome back. Welcome back. We got a lot to talk about today.
We are here. We did it. The thing is happening. We have video game stuff to talk about today. We have other video game stuff to talk about today. We're going to talk about Nintendo Switch stuff. We're going to talk about Ubisoft doing some stuff. We're going to talk about Brooks has some movie things he wants to talk about. And we're going to react to some stuff. We got some fun things to react to.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's gonna be a good time on today's episode. But today I think we'll start out with Brooks. There was a surprise and random Nintendo Direct last week.
Andrew, so let me just set this up. This is how Andrew and I work. I was actually awake, but I had other stuff I had to do. So that's rare. First of all, that's rare. Second of all, Andrew was like, "Hey, do you want to react to this in like 10 minutes?" And I was like, "Dude, I would love to, but I can't." I don't even remember what all I was doing. I don't know if I came up to get footage that day.
No, that you had lunch plans.
I did. Dude, I can't even remember. This whole week has been throwing me off, honestly.
With your person.
Yeah, I sure did.
I think you already had like lunch plans or something. But yeah. I'll pull it up so that we can talk about it as we're looking at it. So you're kind of working off of no information, right?
Yeah. Dr. Deathwish, what's up, dude? Yeah, so I actually skimmed over it a little bit. You watched the whole thing, which will be going up. His reactions will be going up later today.
Yep.
Because he was able to react to it and stuff, and I'll put it together. But I skimmed over it. I saved the Metroid Prime 4 bit for myself so we could both watch it together.
Yep.
And then I did look over the Nintendo Direct, like the most important part, which was the digital game cards. And that's super interesting.
Cool. So let's walk through like fast track through the Direct and then like sit on the parts that we find the most interesting. Yeah. Mainly those two things. But here, I'll go ahead and pull it up here so that we can check it out. So first up, we had Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake announcements. Which I think we already knew that they were coming because they had talked about them being planned.
Yeah, that looks really cool though. I love the landscape.
I'm a big fan of this style that they're doing. Look at that. That looks beautiful.
That's really cool.
Oh my goodness. But we already have, believe the third one is out, Dragon Quest 3, because the third one is technically the prequel to the first two games.
Right.
So I'm very excited because I've recently played the first one again late last year. And I forgot how much fun that game is, man.
Yeah, I had one for the DS a while back.
It's a grind. It's a grind of a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, very, very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. That one I was actually excited about. And then, I mean, we had like, if moving from that, we had like a bunch of other like random escape games and this Raidu, which it looks very like RPG-ish games. I think I even said it in my direct reaction to this, but it was like, oh my gosh, I can tell that they're coming to the end of this console's life cycle because of the sheer amount of like weird, specifically niche JRPGs that are coming to the console this year.
Dr. Deathwish was saying that he was aware that they were going to make the remakes. I knew they were going to do remakes today. Yeah.
I think they announced it when they announced originally the third one. I think they mentioned like coming next year or whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy for Dragon Quest fans. I'm happy that I would like to try it myself.
So
honestly.
I will say this game. Hold on, I want to let you watch this because this game was one that surprised me, and I want to kind of get your thoughts on it as we're looking at it too. But this one was one that surprised me at how dope it looked. Here, let's check this out.
Consume darkness. With your memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world.
This art style looks so sick.
Where you're greeted by a yellow orb known as Puck. But who is this spherical stranger? Moored in a mysterious, maze-like world, your battle for survival begins.
So it's basically Dark Souls 3 guided by Pac-Man.
As Puck guides you on your journey, you'll delve deeper into the expansive
with the art
world.
Style of like Child of Light.
By examining your surroundings, you can phase shift and combine with Puck.
But it is literally Pac-Man.
Reach before. But tread
what are they doing?
How can they do that?
When facing imposing enemies, you and Puck can temporarily fuse into the Gaia form to unleash.
What is happening?
Pause that. Those two things don't mix. Those two things. What the fuck is that? Those two things. Yeah, you could fuse with Pac-Man and become Gundam.
Become an Ava.
Yeah, you could.
By consuming your prey,
and
you collect resources.
That
can then be used to enhance your abilities. Work to uncover Puck's true goal and devour enemies to survive this cruel world. Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when
it is literally Pac-Man because it's made by Bandai.
So what the hell? Who's this for?
What? Trying to Dark Souls Pac-Man?
They wanted to combine like a ring wraith looking shadow guy. There's a better look-alike than that I can come up that I can't think of off the top of my head.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Combining like a little shadow guy with Pac-Man and making him vor things.
That's why I needed you to see that because I didn't need to experience that alone.
No, that's like something just like you see it and you're like, I got it. Other people have to see that.
Yeah. Brooks needs to see this. This is the most ridiculous thing because I started watching that being like, oh, this is really cool. The art style was really dope. Is the main thing I was looking at. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like. It reminded me a lot of like Child of Light, which was like the watercolor background art style, but then like the people moved. But then like it got weird almost immediately.
Hey, Chloe. They're working right now. So we'll be background noise and we'll freak out over Shadow Labyrinth for you. That unreal. You know what? That's probably going to be so ridiculous. It's awesome. So I can't criticize it.
I have to try it. I hope there's like a demo for it so that we can try it. The next one that I want, so they have Patapon, which looked pretty cool. It's like a rhythm game.
Advances them.
And then Story of Seasons, new Story of Seasons.
Welcome to Zephyrtown, a cozy place nestled in a windswept valley.
Which,
this is where your new life
to me,
begins.
I'm going to turn this down a little bit. To me, this looks like a DS port for some reason, like a slightly up-resed DS port.
Yeah.
No shortage of activities to get up to.
Oh, you must be the new farmer.
Tend to your farm while growing crops and caring
Story of
for
Seasons is what became of what's the game that was started?
Harvest Moon?
Harvest Moon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Harvest Moon had like 2 games and then somebody bought that IP and then the developers made like Story of Seasons as a totally different game. But it's essentially the same game.
As Bazaar sales grow, You'll help the once famous market regain
yeah,
its former
it's
splendor.
very weird. I mean, it's cool that there's another Story of Seasons game, especially if you're like into that stuff.
Change are coming, and your new life on the farm begins when Story of Seasons
Yeah.
Grand Bazaar launches on the Nintendo.
August is cool. Like that's a good time for that type of game to come out.
That looks like a cute little game.
Like going into
I won't
the
be
fall.
playing it, but
It's not really my thing.
yeah, same.
But I know if people like farming sims, this is like the whole Story of Seasons is like the holy grail of farming sims.
Yeah, it's like people that like Stardew and stuff like that would probably be really into that.
Yes,
I mean there
kind of
is
predated Stardew Valley.
Yeah,
but yeah.
There's definitely a market for it for sure.
All right, here's one that I wanted you to react to. So, this one specifically, I know you wanted to talk about. It was on the docket for us to react to. So,
Yep. Nice.
this is the HUD.
The colors look amazing.
Yeah.
Here, Samus finds a verdant
The
jungle.
gun looks really
colossal
cool.
tree
I said this reminded me of like Star Fox Adventures,
Yeah.
In
It
order
does,
to
yeah.
survive and escape this planet,
except I
she
didn't
was
see any
unexpectedly
dinosaurs. I really wanted
transported to.
dinosaurs.
Samus must scan stone
That's
figures
awesome.
and
I
other
love the-
relics.
The scanning thing,
path forward.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
The scanning motion is so sick.
It looks great. I do love the HUD. It looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look really good. The map on the top right looks really cool.
Oh, I love
She's
having
not
that.
alone, though. Abhorrent alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
Cool creature designs.
Yep. They look very fluid. Some of that looks a little sped up, but I can't tell.
Yeah. It feels natural to me.
Yeah.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities.
Oh, okay.
This is the specialty thing for this
These
game.
powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms.
I love seeing her hand through her,
and open doors.
Visor, yeah.
or it's like through her
They also
armor.
allow her to control the trajectory of
Oh,
her moves with
that's
the
cool.
power of her mind.
I think that's a really cool twist on the abilities because that's never happened before.
No, it's very telekinetic. I thought it was really sick.
It's got to have something to do with the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That looks awesome.
That looks really cool. I'm here for this. There's one specific part.
What will be her fate after being summoned to the
Oh.
universe? The threads intertwining
That looks
beyond
crazy.
space and time.
As far as like a boss battle.
A new
Mhm.
tale.
That looks awesome. I'm
hold
so excited for that.
Hold on one second. Look at this outfit, dude.
All right, yeah. I'm so sold.
Look at that outfit, dude.
I'm so sold.
That
I
looks
love it.
so freaking sick.
I can't think of maybe like the Phazon suit was kind of sort of red like this, but this is so sleek looking.
I know. Hold on, let's get a full. Let's see if I can pause it. Yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness,
That looks
dude.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love this. Love this.
Oh man, it looks so good.
So
It's
one
so
thing,
sleek.
yeah, one thing I want to say about like the environment and how games look is like some people complain that like more modern games don't have like color or vibrance to them. You know, Elden Ring is a very colorful game. and that's one of the outliers. I mean, but there's a lot more examples, but I'm just going straight off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
I love how the environments, I feel like they're going to have personality and color and vibrant. That's why I love Dark Souls. Like Dark Souls, I can picture the areas by their color. And not every game has to be that way, because like thematically Dark Souls, most of my reference is FromSoft. So
Yeah.
but like Dark Souls 3 is not a very colorful game. It's very bleak. It's very ashy. It's very like gray, but it's supposed to be. At least has thematic like a purpose for it. But this I really enjoy looking at and seeing the environments, and I feel like I'm going to be able to, like Metroid Prime 1, for example, I can like, Magmore Caverns, Phendrana Drifts, like Phazon Mines, based on like sort of what the aesthetic and the colors are. So I really enjoy that. I think that's my favorite thing I've seen so far.
I agree. No, I feel like it's going to be a very memorable game just from the level design. Is like really pretty, but also very, very like specific to it. There's not really a game that looks like this in this style. You know what I mean? Not very many, at least. I mean, maybe like Horizon.
I'm sure that,
but
I was thinking Horizon. There's a few.
But like the Horizon's also a pretty different type of game.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid's its own thing. It's got its own qualities to it, but
like
I'm stoked for this.
Yeah, dude. It's a freaking good looking game. So yeah. I'm glad they waited. Yeah, me too. Okay, so moving on from that, there's this, I don't know who asked for this game. They immediately follow that banger with, I don't know who asked for this.
Stir up some mischief?
Okay, I will say this. If there's a thing Nintendo knows how to do, it's how to bring up like an absolute banger of a release, like visual, and then follow it up with something so amazingly bland.
Once upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion cafe. As the newest potionista of the cursed cafe, you'll craft concoctions for Disney.
Who asked for this?
And get to know them in a new light. Mix ingredients to brew all sorts of strange elixirs.
Who asked for this?
Then serve them to your villainous visitors, including Ursula and Gaston.
I just don't know. I
don't know who this is for, because like
Disney people don't really play these kind of games.
Well, young kids don't, like younger kids, unless their parents show them, they're not going to know who Ursula or Gaston or like Captain Hook or Maleficent. They're not going to know these characters. So is this made for like, is this nostalgia baiting adults to play?
That's what it feels like.
Like nobody, like what? Does Micah know who Yzma is?
No, he's barely watched.
No,
Emperor's
like
New
I don't
Groove.
know any of my friends' kids or any kids who would just be like, oh yeah, Yzma. That's Yzma. I know Yzma from the Emperor's New Groove. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't get it. I don't know who this is for. God bless him for making it, but what the fuck?
I just don't understand. Hold on, Brooks. Take over 1 second and talk to the people. My dogs are freaking out, and I need to make sure no one's trying to break into my house.
Okay, yeah. It's actually me, and I like duck down to the camera, and I just pop up at his house. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild. I used to do tricks like that when I would record with Dylan a long time ago. We would have our PCs set back to back, and he would be recording something and I would be recording something, and then I'd be like, all right, we would actually be like collaborating on something, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna cross dimensions real quick, and I went whoop, and I just went over to his side. It was fun. We had a good time. Andrew's dogs are very vocal about whatever the hell this Disney potion barista thing is. Yeah, I really don't know who that's made for. Like, is it made for like Disney adults? Like, do you think a Disney adult is going to be like all over this? I don't know young kids who know these characters like that. I don't know. I don't really know who this is made for, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I am so far very much looking forward to it's not Dragon Age. That'd be crazy. Dragon Age on Switch. But Dragon Quest and Metroid Prime. It's weird. I feel really conflicted about these directs because it's like I feel bad because people did work on these games and I'm sure they worked hard on these games, but it's just like who are they made for? And like, do people actually play them? I've never heard of anybody playing like
Sorry, Books. My the guy that came to fix my windshield on my car came early, so let me go pay him real quick. One second.
You're fine. But anyway, it's like I know developers work hard on these games, and like I'm sure some of them are pretty passionate about this. So it's like I'm not knocking the work that goes into it. I guess for me, it's like, do people actually play these? Like who asked for this? Did anybody ask for this? Are they just putting it out? Are they just throwing it to the wall to see if it sticks? Because like, I don't know. I feel like gamers and specifically in today's day and age, like gamers are some of the most vocal fans of things. Like, God, I mean, there are video essays upon video essays, and then there's people who make an entire living reviewing video games and like saying, hey, this is crap, this is not good, this is whatever, this doesn't sell. But then the gaming industry just like, I don't know if they're like just oblivious to that or they just choose to not be to like engage with that and listen to these people. But I mean, like, I guess the same kind of goes for movies and shows and pretty much all types of media. It's like people are more vocal and outspoken than they've ever been. Just because we can share our thoughts and ideas and stuff like what we're doing right now. My voice has been messed up for the past couple days. I'm cracking. But yeah, it's like, it's not that people weren't vocal before about what they wanted and what they would like to see in media. But now that we have the internet and we have like YouTube and social media, we can be a lot more vocal.
Yay!
Paid. He's paid. Windshield guy is paid.
Paid, and I don't have a broken windshield anymore. It's a miracle.
My dad cracked his too on the way to work the other day.
I walked out
Awful.
from church like a couple weeks ago after playing at church, and it was cracked.
Dang, that sucks.
I think something fell off the roof and hit it or something. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, continuing on after that.
Yeah.
Devastating cursed cafe. Truly cursed.
All I said while you were gone is like, obviously not to knock the developers, but like there's some people that worked hard on this and like some could be passionate about it, but it's like, are they just throwing it to the wall to see what sticks? Or are they just like, no, this is going to work. This is going to work. And then like, I was saying how people, like gamers in particular, but like everyone, people are a lot more vocal these days about media. And it's not like they weren't in the past, but now that we have like, I mean, we're doing it now.
What we're doing exactly right now.
It's like we have social media and YouTube and all these different avenues to like voice our opinions and voice our wants and needs. And it's weird that like every industry just like kind of turns a blind eye and just like pretends that side doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Even though they know that this exists to some capacity, they just don't give a shit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. To me, it feels like a cash grab for like, hey, the millennial person,
Disney adult.
the millennial Disney adult is probably a cafe lover. They love cafe games, we think. So let's just combine the worlds of cafe games. And I mean, it could be like a great idea as far as just like a market research game where it's like, hey, market research says that X amount of millennials are Disney adults and X amount of millennials or these types of people in the same age range of people that are Disney adults also play a lot of and buy a lot of cafe games.
True.
And so they just say, oh, let's just do the merge of both to see. Like, it's
So-
definitely not for us.
Are there any more games that are just like?
So there's a couple that I thought were interesting.
Mhm.
So this next one actually is one that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
I will probably buy this game because for the reason that I'm about, you'll see. So this is a game called Witchbrook,
Mm-hmm.
and it is essentially,
That looks really cute.
it's adorable, but it's essentially like, what was the game that you said?
Stardew.
Stardew Valley, but you're at a magic school
Oh, that's cool.
and you're like trying to become like a good wizard.
That's really cute.
But you're in like a town and like you have friends and you met. Yeah, dude, it doesn't sound awesome.
Yeah.
So like it's like all of the cool parts of the magic school, but without the like looming threat of some bad guy.
It's like surface level Harry Potter meets Stardew Valley.
Yeah, basically.
I like it. It
and
looks
you can
great.
you can multiplay in it as well. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it out and see. I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna buy this one and try it out.
It looks cute.
From like a really casual type of game sense, like it feels like something that I would enjoy personally. Also, the logo looks really cool. Let's just talk
Oh,
about
I
the
love that.
logo design real quick.
Chucklefish. I like that.
Chucklefish, yeah. So there's that one. This one was kind of cool. It's a necromancer, game,
Mm-hmm.
like the rhythm game,
Yeah.
Crypt of the Necrodancer.
I like that. That's a cool name.
But it's this is called Rift of the Necrodancer, and it's basically like a rhythm, like Guitar Hero esque type game,
Not bad.
but for that stuff. And
I
so
like
they,
the pizza guy cameo.
yeah. So they did a
What is
pizza
that
guy
game?
one, and they also did a one for. What's her name? What's the name? Celeste. They did a Celeste cameo with some of her
Pizza
music.
Tower.
Pizza Tower.
I bought it. I've been meaning to play it, but I
So
forgot.
this is one I don't really care about. Tamagotchi Plaza is like,
Yeah.
I don't know who the world this is for. Bandai's just like spitting out some games. All right, so they had some more Pokemon stuff. Still looks bad.
Welcome to Pokemon Legends ZA, a new title in the Pokemon
That jump off that
series.
building looked awful. Hold on. Just I need you to look at this,
Welcome to
him jump off this
Pokemon
building.
Legends ZA, a new title in the
Oh, is there a way to? Can I turn that down on my end?
I could turn it down.
Yeah. It's just super. It's blaring into my ear holes. But yeah, I agree. It looks like
Pokemon
donkey
series.
dick.
You'll begin your adventure by choosing one of 3 partner Pokemon.
So it's,
The setting is this Metropolis
I don't know.
that also appeared in the Pokemon X and Pokemon Y games.
Oh.
Lumio City. To make it easier for people and Pokemon to coexist.
So
a
once
company
again,
named
it looks
Quasarca
bad.
Inc. is
Let's just
carrying
talk.
out an
Let's just
urban
let's just talk about that right now. It looks awful.
It looks empty.
It does look empty. Look at the background.
God, it looks like everything's
like-
made of cardboard.
Cardboard and cardboard buildings and like 6 people.
Here, we'll get a glimpse into the lives of the Pokemon.
Like the Pokemon don't look great.
It's like they look all okay.
And they talk about the wild
Scattered
zones, which
all
is
over
something you were talking about last time that you wanted to,
Town are wild zones.
Mm-hmm.
you were unsure of.
These areas are special environments where wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city. You can catch Pokemon
So
here,
same mechanics as far as catching.
but they might be hostile. If you sense trouble, get to safety. There are Pokemon that live outside
There
wild
are
zones
also
too.
Pokemon that live outside the wild zones.
Some of them
I
can
thought that was
even be found
interesting.
on rooftops.
Okay.
People and Pokemon live easygoing lives in Lumio City. But
So they This is where they talk about, you remember at the end of the first one where they had that like tournament thing pop up at the end?
Right.
They talk about that here, I believe.
When night falls,
Is there, pause it for a second. Is there a way to raise our volume or just lower the, what is it, the direct audio? Chloe said it was a little loud.
Oh, I turned it down. I don't know if that has been said since I turned it down.
Let's see. Play it real quick.
Highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament. The ZA
I don't know
Royale.
if that's better or not.
Trainers await.
I think it's still pretty loud.
zones.
Oh, it's super quiet for me.
Oh, I see. It's probably just because it's coming through the thing super loud.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not that the volume's like all the way down.
Okay. Weird.
If you're spotted, they'll challenge you to battle.
Anyway,
Interesting.
the
Oh no, it's not no big
No,
deal, Chloe.
not a big
Thank
deal.
you.
we'll
We'll work on it.
yeah.
I love when people tell me that because we can fix it. So no problem.
I mean,
there.
we can just turn our volume up. That's fine. We can just turn, like, I can literally turn my output up. Not a big deal.
I think it just
Not a
comes
big
out
deal.
really loud from the player.
It could, but so continuing through that, there's like some sort of, it's like a tournament thing within the game.
Skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament. The ZA Royale. Trainers await in battle zones.
So it's like you can only combat them at night, is what I am understanding, at least.
Weird.
If you're spotted, they'll challenge you to battle.
Yeah, so this is just more combat stuff.
Not bad.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it looks bad. Like, that's fine. It's all well and good.
I kind of like the HUD. Like, I like the idea of the HUD. I think it looks good.
Yeah, that's where they have like all the moves on the right side. I thought that was really cool, and you have like the information up top, and yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm just,
I think overall the gameplay is gonna have to save this game because the visuals just don't set a good precedent. That's what I've been saying the whole time about ZA ever since it like came out. It's like, because people really loved Legends Arceus and it had its own unique art style. Like, it was cell shaded, but like also rustic and like old and ancient feeling. But this kind of just looks like Scarlet and Violet copy pasted into a really empty city.
which maybe this is just what Pokemon games are going to be for a while.
Maybe so, unless like Gen 10 would be like the next one, the next mainline series.
It would be that would be the place where they like probably would try something new. I guess I'm unsure, but yeah, I mean, we don't have to stick on Pokemon because we've made our thoughts be available on Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's a Rhythm Heaven game. Thought that was pretty cool. But the next thing I want to talk through is this.
You can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system and a Legend of Zelda game in this one, freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want. But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards? Well, here's what we came up with. Introducing the Virtual Game Card. In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games. When purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card, allowing you to play that title. Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen. Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
So that's interesting because now everything's going to show up just as like a normal game instead of these are downloaded and these are not.
If you have two Nintendo Switch systems, you can eject a virtual game card from one and load it onto the second. Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want, just as if you had inserted a physical game card. With virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to two systems.
That's really cool.
Local communication with your second system is required, but only the first time.
You basically just link your systems to your...
You can also lend out virtual game cards to your Nintendo account family group members. Connect to your family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who you're lending it to. And you're done. They can now play on their own system.
So pause it for a second.
Yeah, so it's...
That seems like it's going to be awesome and terrible at the same time.
Because you can lend games out, but then you can't play them.
True, but you could be playing something else while somebody else, like, okay, let's see how this would work.
Oh, and there's a time limit on it.
Oh, there is?
You can only lend one game at a time to a particular person. Games can be lent out for 2 weeks, after which they will automatically return to you, making digital games even easier to use. Virtual game cards.
So, and now you do keep the save data from like after the 2 weeks when it ejects the game and sends it back to the original owner. You do keep all of the save data on your system, which I was worried about. I was like, oh, am I just going to be playing this game and then all of a sudden it's going to reset to 0 because my 2 week time limit is up? That'd be crazy. No, they did state on that little card right there before this slide that doesn't affect game save data. But what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say before they introduced like the time limit, I mean, is there going to be a penalty? Like if you have it for 2 weeks, like is there a time frame to where you can't lend them, or is that like a one-time deal, or is it like a...
I think it's just like you can only lend out one game at a time to family members.
Yeah. And
it can only be for up to 2 weeks for that one game.
Oh, so after the 2 week period, it's like you're done forever. It seems like.
No, it's just for that game. And then you just resend it. You just resend it back after those 2 weeks.
So like, yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is like for that specific game are there penalties, or is there like,
no,
does every game have like a 2 week limit and then it's like you can't lend it?
No, it's only 2 weeks for the person holding it, not for you lending it.
Right.
So the other person that isn't you, your family member, can only hold your game for 2 weeks, and then the game goes back to your library, in which case they could just relend it back to you again after 2 weeks. It'll just be kind of annoying.
Yeah, I see. So there's no penalty for lending. It's just a 2 week, and then it goes back after the 2 weeks, and then it's like, well, if the 2 week period ends and like 15 minutes later, well, I'm still trying to play that game. You just do it again.
Yeah, for another 2 weeks. It's like libraries.
I think it's a cool system, but I also think it's going to be abused by some people. But I mean, I don't think.
How would you think it would be abused?
Multiple people getting on like a family plan. Like if you and I wanted to share one.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
But like we never buy the game, we just buy one game each, and we just keep swapping back and forth. So instead of buying two games, like
but we both couldn't play it at the same time. And if you buy the game every 2 weeks, because I don't play the game, I won't be able to play the game a lot. I would be bugging you every 2 weeks to resend me that game.
True, but it could be abused. I just feel like
I don't know if it's necessarily going to be abused, because if I
maybe,
want the game, I'm probably just going to buy it.
yeah. We are adults after all.
Yeah. It feels more like you have, a family of 2 adults, 2 or 3 kids, and like each kid maybe has their own like Switch Lite or something.
Yeah, I like it.
And
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder whenever a new thing comes out, like I guess that's just the negative part of my brain. It always goes to how is some jackass going to ruin this?
I mean, they put a lot of if anything, they may have rail guarded it a little too hard, in my opinion.
Yeah.
2 weeks is not a very long time.
No.
But people also play video games a lot more than I do.
True.
So I have to remember that more often than I do. So yeah, and then they just did a bunch of stuff where they ran through a bunch of games. High on Life is coming to Switch. I don't know if you know that game.
Oh yeah, that's the Justin Roiland game. Shout out to Let's Do It.
Yeah.
There's literally just a gun in that game. He just goes, "Let's do it." And that's it. That's it. That's his whole character. It's great.
Yeah. And then like there's a game called King of Meat.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. I don't. What is this? What is this, Brooks? What is this?
There's one person on Earth who's going to buy this game and fall in love with it.
And it's not me. And then I thought this was cool. So Monument Valley. Do you know Monument Valley?
Monumental adventures await.
It's in like an isometric puzzle game.
Beautiful puzzle games.
It's gorgeous.
Wander through isometric worlds.
Wow.
Filled with stunning landscapes to manipulate.
Now, I'm pretty sure this was a mobile game first.
And mystifying secrets to unfold. In Monument Valley, lead the silent Princess Ida in her quest for forgiveness while outsmarting the enigmatic Crow people. A different journey awaits in Monument Valley 2. Guide Ro in her adventure through motherhood as she and her child unlock the secrets of the sacred geometry. Both games contain
it's cool.
chapters, add-ons, and DLC. The first 2 Monument Valley games launch on Nintendo Switch April 15th.
They announced the third one.
In Monument Valley 3, setting sail on Nintendo Switch this summer.
Yeah, so I mean that's cool. It's a very pretty game. I played the first one when it first came out because it was a mobile game, I think on iPad. Mm-hmm. And I played it. It's very cool. I mean, I like a good puzzle game, so
right.
It's very much my speed. It feels weird that it's just going to be I mean, the Switch is getting all these mobile ports anyway, so I guess it's not a huge thing. New Marvel comic game.
Unite some of Marvel's greatest superheroes in the fight against
But it's a beat 'em up.
Pair up 2 heroes from the roster of 15, including the likes of the spectacular Spider-Man and the ferocious Wolverine to take on the challenge.
That's kind of cool. And then
I like the sprite work on this game.
The sprite work on this game is really cool.
To aerial aces. You can mix and match a variety of heroes for an amazing array of possibilities. And swap between your team of 2 at any time. Take advantage.
It reminds me of like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
But like
those old school 90s beat 'em ups. Yeah.
The arcade cabinet games. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. But it's more of a beat 'em up style, like that crossed over with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. But the last thing there's 2 things that I want to talk to you. I want you to react to this. All right. And then I got last thing we'll talk about at the end that I thought was really cool.
I'm sold.
How refreshing. Hiya.
Brooks,
Tomodachi Life. Living the dream.
terrifying. Hold on. Oh, it's not over. Hold on.
Oh my. Oh my. I want to be that breakdancing old man.
Did you want to talk?
Ah. Glad that was only a dream.
What is happening? What is happening?
I saw also Emily says PP. Thanks. Thanks for that. Thank you for that. You want to see how my clear thumbs up when it yeah, come on, focus. Focus on this. Yeah. Anyway, I saw somebody freaking out over Tomodachi Life recently, but it looks cute. It looks quirky. It looks fun.
I don't know who that's for though.
A Tomodachi Life. I think it was for
It's a me game, is what it looks like.
Tomodachi Life. First game. It was like.
Looks like a Wii U game. Listen, I love a cutesy indie game, and I love a little guy, but like people doing weird talking voices like that, and them just being like replications of myself.
It's
just not my thing.
I love it. I think it looks cool. Tomodachi Life. When did it come out? Oh, it was for 3DS.
Okay.
I think
That feels like a very DS-y kind of game.
yeah, Tomodachi Life. People that like got into it really like it. It's like it's almost kind of like a Japanese version of The Sims. It's a Mii social simulation video game developed by Nintendo. The game follows the day-to-day interactions of Mii characters referred to as Islanders as they build relationships, solve problems, and interact with the player. Neat.
Yeah.
So I love the breakdancing old man.
I want to be him.
It's just like it looks just like a social simulator. My voice.
You versus the man she tells you not to worry about.
True. Yeah. Yeah,
That's the man who they tell you not to worry about.
That's Mr. Steal Your Girl right there. That's so awesome.
Well, yeah, that's just I don't know. The voices are the thing that like I just don't get, but whatever. It's definitely not for me. The last thing is the Nintendo Today app, which they
Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for watching today's Nintendo
it was like
Direct.
the last thing they had on the Direct.
Since 2011, Nintendo Direct has delivered Nintendo news directly to you. And now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch. Thank you all very much. We'll continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations, but we're also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly. This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today,
So I had you download this when you were here the other
which
day.
functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will also be delivering all sorts of content about Nintendo games and characters every day. After the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd, news about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today app as well. Nintendo Today will be available to download on smart devices later today. Anyone with a Nintendo account can use the app, so please try it out. That's all I have to share. I hope you enjoy using Nintendo Today.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.
All right, pause it.
Yeah.
Wow. I know I downloaded it and I've looked at it a little bit, but I think that is such a great idea.
It is. I think it's cool. I think
I'm gonna check it right now.
So the big thing that they did on that was, I think it was the day that you were up here with me.
Yeah.
They announced the date and release of the Zelda movie, the live action Zelda movie.
Right.
Via the Nintendo Today app first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're really trying to push, especially people like us that like pay attention to these things and want to, stay up on the news or whatever of stuff. They're going to try to really push everybody to this app to keep up on the news with them more.
Yeah, because they're doing a Switch Direct tomorrow, which unfortunately I'll miss, but
I will try to stream it.
Sweet.
I will attempt. It depends on what's happening tomorrow. But
yeah, I think that's a great idea, honestly.
It's pretty cool. But like them drop, it's a big move that they dropped the Zelda movie announcement first on it, so that then they could go in and be like, oh, look at what you're missing out if you're not, this is, we dropped it on the app first, like before any other channels posted about it. Their Instagram didn't post about it. Their YouTube, like nowhere posted about it. The first place that information dropped was on the Nintendo Today app.
That's cool. I need to look more into it because I'm trying to go back to like older news.
Mm-hmm.
They have a calendar function and like.
I also bet there's a really cool like calendar widgets.
Yeah, you can go back and look.
I need to download it and like get logged in. I already have it on my phone, but I need to get logged in and check it out.
No events. But they have like a specific schedule. Like you can go back in March and look at like yeah, so it's April. Today's April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day. Information. No notifications. I wonder how you can like scroll back and
I have no idea.
Old stuff because I can't. Browsing history.
I have no idea. I'll have to check it out. You can
browse pages. You can look at news. Oh, the World Red released the live action film. Oh, there it is. You can go and like scroll back through and see.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it.
But it's a really cool idea. I'm here for it. It's one more thing I have to pay attention to now.
Oh, I know.
You know how it is. But I think it's cool. I think it's a great idea. I'm being selfish by not wanting it to be a thing, but I also understand that it's probably a really good idea for them. So yeah, that's the last. We'll call it the last Nintendo Directs of the original Switch's cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're coming to the end of an era, because tomorrow, as of the date of this, recording stream, tomorrow is the direct for the next Switch, and we don't know what's going to happen there. We hope like dates, announcements, and some launch game titles and stuff like that. But we'll probably talk about that next week after we have time to like think about it and sit on it and stuff.
True.
But I really hope that, I hope people look back at the Switch. Obviously, I mean, from a success perspective, like the Switch has been a massive success.
It's like 8 years old too, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's insanely old. And like it's probably going to be like, it's like 8 or 9. It'll be 8 or 9 years old by the time like the second version comes out, probably.
Yeah,
which is crazy. But I mean, success in my opinion, very big success. it got me back into gaming more. It's definitely much more in the it's kind of doing its own thing category. It also made everyone in the world start gunning for the handheld market.
Yeah, true.
Like literally everybody. Xbox opened up all their stuff, Game Pass stuff, to every single handheld, Windows handheld, and PlayStation made the portal and started working on all that kind of stuff. And I feel like we had a massive uptick in little, like, guys like the Retroid Pocket and Anbernic and all those kind of had like an uptick in sales just because of everybody wanted to take their games with them. They realized that games can go with them, and we missed what used to be fun about video games, like the Game Boy.
Oh, dude, yeah, the Game Boy and the DS were like, oh my god, my childhood was like defined by those handheld systems. Because I mean, I'd play them indoor, I'd play them at home because the games were good. I loved them, So like, yeah, if you could make a high quality game that you could take anywhere, I mean, you pretty much solved.
Yep. That's the dream.
Code.
That's the dream, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's give a things we like salute to the Nintendo Switch. It's been a good ride, and hopefully the next one's even better.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So we're gonna wrap things up. I have to leave soon.
Yeah.
So we might be able to save some reaction stuff for later.
Yeah.
But I do want to do two things. Or I want to mention two things that are going on right now. So this is some homework for y'all.
Yep.
If y'all are interested in what's going on in the world of media. And again, I want to preface that we like to give surface level takes. Like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to drive the car. So we just like to talk about things and discuss it and allow other people to make their own conclusions. So that being said, two things that are going on right now that are really crazy. Assassin's Creed Shadows dropped. There's a whole lot of controversy around that.
Yep.
And Snow White was released by Disney, finally.
And has box office tanked.
It has a lower IMDb rating than Dragon Ball Evolution.
Which was, I think, held the record prior for the lowest rating.
It was very low. I don't know
right?
what the lowest was, but it's lower than an American-made Dragon Ball movie.
I saw a picture of that, and with the caption, "The king has been dethroned."
Oh my God. It's so horrible. So like, it's a whole, we don't have time to go into the entire rabbit hole, but like the whole Assassin's Creed Shadows thing, first of all, it's insanely controversial. It has been throughout its entire development, and then it's released. And like, from what I understand, there are people that like it. There are people that have enjoyed it, and they are trying to give like, I think Fextra Life gave a really good, unbiased review of everything. And then other people are talking about how I think there's like microtransactions in the game where it's like you could actually pay to be stronger or better. But the world, and I have no intentions of playing it because I'm not interested in it, and I don't want to waste that money in something that I will play for like 2 minutes and dip. But like, I'm still suffering because I bought Monster Hunter twice. So, but like, there's a lot of controversy around that. And then I find it fascinating. And then the controversy around Snow White and like Disney has been failing for like a decade. And then there's the drama with Rachel Zegler. Imagine playing Monster Hunter, Tristan. I love you. Watch your mouth. I'm just kidding. I love you, Tristan. But anyway, yeah, the whole Snow White thing is crazy. Disney failing to like be original and to tell new stories or to make new content. They're just relying on old IPs, but they're doing it extremely poorly. I don't know anybody who's like, dude, this live action remake of Aladdin was way better than the original. Like, nobody is saying that. Like, nobody wants that. Nobody, it's a great game. Great to be here, though. Yes, we love you, Tristan. Anyway, there's two very interesting things going on in media right now, so I highly recommend jump down the rabbit hole, find out. And
we'll probably come back maybe next week and do an extra long episode. Or maybe next week we'll do an extra long live, and we'll do 2 episodes in one where we talk about that stuff and also the Nintendo Switch Direct.
Yeah, true. I would like to revisit that later just to see what people are saying and like.
Yeah, give it some time to like settle because it's very, very fresh right now. So
Yeah.
I'd love it to be. I'd love it to be at least spun a little bit more positively.
Yeah.
Hopefully by that point.
I
But
agree,
it doesn't look like it.
That is exactly what they're trying to do, but every attempt is poor.
Yeah, Tristan says they're making the live action shows to refresh the IPs on those cartoons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're
Or just re-release the originals in theaters.
They did that, and it worked. They like up-resed all the footage and like remastered all the audio for something. I think it was Beauty and the Beast, maybe. I don't remember. It was one of mine and Aaron's first dates, like 10 years ago.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
I feel like actually if you want to revive the IPs, just re-release them in theaters. I think that because I mean the first movie I ever saw that I remember seeing was Toy Story, and it blew my mind as a young kid. Even today, I feel like young kids who have no concept of the world would be like, "Oh my god, like this is crazy!" But they just
you know who's crushing it in that aspect? Miyazaki films, Studio Ghibli, dude. They run weekends of like multiple movies at like over the course of like time.
True.
And it's old. They're old movies. Like those are very old movies by comparison.
Also, another thing that we don't have time to get into is the Miyazaki AI stuff.
Oh yeah,
that's horrible and depressing.
Very sad. But yeah, no, there's a lot that's going on right now. But I think today we're just gonna stick on the Switch conversation. We're gonna end it on the Switch conversation.
Yeah,
that's all stuff to be. We're probably gonna do our own personal deep dives on.
AI is for scums. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you have any final thoughts for today?
Let's see how poorly this ages tomorrow. Hot take for what you think is gonna happen tomorrow. Let's give me like one wild take.
One wild take for tomorrow.
For the Nintendo Switch 2.
Release date's gonna be in July.
Oh god. You think it's gonna be that soon? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I'll say. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be sad because I want it. I don't really have many more hot takes. I think Arlo had a video about 5 things the Switch could do better, but I haven't watched it yet because the million things. But
Who has time? I think my hot take for tomorrow, or my whatever crazy hope for tomorrow, is that when pre-orders available tomorrow, that would be insane. That would be insane. But there's no way. I would say they figured out, okay, here we go. It's not going to happen. This is just not going to happen. But they launch with a Mario title, a party title, and like Elden Ring or Bloodborne or one of those like crazy third-party titles.
Elden Ring would be crazy on the Switch too.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
I don't know what I'm doing with my hands, but I want a FromSoft title to be like in this showcase at some point.
To start praising the sun.
Yeah, I want a FromSoft title to be a thing that they like showcase on that system. There's no freaking way. There's no way, but I want it to happen so bad. Bloodborne.
Bloodborne on the Switch 2 would be
Bloodborne on
unreal.
the Switch 2. You heard it here first, folks.
That's crazy. That is
All
a
right.
hot take.
That is a hot take. All right.
Well,
Well-
I've enjoyed it.
Hey, if you guys want to watch us and not just look at our faces, and you want to be able to skip around and stuff because it's not live, we post these back on this exact same channel, the Things We Like channel. Thanks so much for listening to the Things We Like podcast. And if you want to listen to us where you don't want to see our faces, because you just want to listen in your ear holes, all of these go to all of the audio platforms, just on a little bit of a delay. So you go check it out there. And yeah, thanks so much for listening. Brooks, thanks so much for being here. Everybody, we love you so much. Little forehead kisses for everybody.
That's great.
And
I love
yeah,
that.
we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.